This question is from Ahmed. How to restore my saved title presets after reinstall Windows and Filmora. So he reinstalled both Windows and Filmora. And title presets, I wonder if he's talking about his custom titles. The answer to Ahmed's question kind of depends on how Windows and Filmora were reinstalled. If his Windows was installed to keep personal data files, then it's probably around. But since Filmora was also reinstalled, maybe it's not around. And the other is, if it was a clean install on Windows, then everything was wiped out. And then Filmora was just simply reinstalled as a new program again. And that's probably pretty dire then at that point. Most likely he's not going to find them. Now, if he has multiple drives, I, for example, have my operating system on the C drive, and I have my data files or stuff like that on my D drive. So I've separated them out so it can be saved. Of course, if he did a set point or recovery point for Windows, he might be able to restore from an old recovery point and get the old setup back and then extract his personal data. But if he didn't do that, then of course he can't do that either. Okay, we're going to go with a best case scenario that his data was preserved when he reinstalled Windows. This is the location where Filmora stores your data. And it's under the C drive, users, username, app data, roaming, Wondershare Filmora. Keep in mind that app data is a hidden folder, so in order to see it, if you're using just your Internet Explorer, you must change the setting from, or you must activate the show hidden files. To activate this setting, make sure you click on View in your Explorer, go to Show, and make sure Hidden Items is checked. That way, any hidden folder will be visible to you. Now, the question is, Ahmed talked about presets and so forth. That isn't going to be readily, I mean, if it's custom titles that he's modified, saved as custom, if that's what he's talking about, it's going to be like these backup files. It's going to be an algorithm that's encoded, and it's not going to be usable for a new installation of Filmora. It's only good for the installation it was when it was installed. So that all that data is lost. So I don't hold up much hope for that. I've personally been in this situation before where I've lost my resources with upgrades because I didn't know where to look. But that being said, some of them just simply got lost. So I decided that I was going to just create my own folder totally away from everything else, which has my custom setups that I want to use. So that if something changes in the future, then I at least will have them to bring them in to the location. I'll show you the location where your custom resources are stored in Filmora. And this is an example of what a hidden folder looks like. You can tell that it's grayed out. It doesn't look the same as the others. The app data will look like this. Now, if you follow this path in your Explorer, as I said, you have your C:, users and your username, and then in username you look for app data. The program itself is installed in the local, but your data is installed in roaming. So if you go into roaming and then go down to the bottom, you get the Wondershare and then the Wondershare Filmora. And in there, you have these folders, custom folder and custom resources. That's the custom folder. I don't know, you might have something there, custom resources. And here are all of my resources that I showed you that I have in my other location. However, if the drive was wiped out, then most likely this data was wiped out as well. If, however, Windows was only installed without wiping out the personal data, there is a good chance, because that we're in the roaming branch of app data. If we go to the local branch, then we will see where the program itself is installed. Going from app data down the local branch, we can then go down to Wondershare again, and then go for Filmora. And most likely in Ahmed's case, these are all going to be wiped out, their previous installations. They don't have any data in them anyway. They're just really skeleton. The last one is the one that is the current installation. I suspect in Ahmed's case, it's going to be only this latest version. Now, this is the program, not the data. So anything that you personally created would not be located in this side. So forget about the local side. That's where the current installation of the program is. Your only hope is if you can go to the roaming side. Right here we got local, local low, and roaming. If there is any hope of saving your data, it would be underneath app data, roaming, and down to, as I said before, Wondershare, Wondershare Filmora. And this is where your information would be if it was saved.